Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today we will be making, I always say we because I know that you're going to be making this with me. We are going to be making some Paratha Roti, better known as bus up shop. In Trinidad they usually say bus up shop. In Barbados we just say roti skin, okay? But Paratha rotis, I'm gonna be making some for you today. And let me show you the ingredients. There's not a lot of ingredients that goes inside of it. And the reason I wanted to make this recipe for you as well is because a couple of people had written me that had a hard time making it. Some people asked me, do I need to use a tower or can I just use a regular pan to make it, and so on. So I'm gonna make this really easy and simple so that all of you can make it at home. And it's like a 1, 2, 3. And these are my simple ingredients that I have here. Over here I have 2 cups of flour. Okay, this flour is nice and stiff. I have here, very easy, this is 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of salt. That's all I'm putting in here. That's it. This is all I am gonna put in here. And we're gonna mix that up. I also have here in this plate some extra flour because you're gonna need some extra flour to go in here, okay? So you ready? Are you ready? Okay, so let's get started. So we're using our hands. As long as your hands are clean, you use your hands. We're using our hands. So I'm just gonna mix up right here. Just mix the baking powder, the little bit of sugar, and a little bit of salt. Just mix it up well. Over here, I have 1 cup of warm water. I caught this, I catch this at the pipe. I didn't boil it, I just catch it at the pipe. So if you have hot water, you can, at your pipe, you can just catch some hot water. And now I'm gonna pour this water in here, and I'm gonna do it a little bit at a time. You're not gonna pour all, I always make a little well, and then mix it up. We're not baking bread, so we're not gonna be kneading it, but we're just gonna mix it up with your hand like this, okay? And you can just put the flour into the water, and one in the flour, until you feel you got the right consistency in here. So this is what I'm gonna do right here. Add some more. Put that down for a second and mix this up. Just keep turning it. You want a nice soft roti? Put a little more in there. You might not quite need that full cup. You might just need 3/4 of it. But that was 1 full cup I put in there. Okay guys, so we're just gonna mix this around for a little bit. But of course I think I'm paying attention to Charles and I just poured a little bit too much water in here. So now I'm gonna add some more flour. You can always add. Always add. If you think you have too much water, just add a little bit of flour. If you don't have, you know, if it needs more water, just add a little more. But you be the judge of that. But okay guys, so when it's no longer sticky like that, then I'm just gonna put it back in the same bowl that I'm using, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of oil and put all on the top. The oil is just to stop it from drying out when the air hits it, that it doesn't dry out, and that's what the oil is gonna do. And then I'm gonna take a clean cloth, put over here, and put this down for about 20 minutes, and in 20 minutes I'm gonna come back and we're gonna get our roti started. I will be right back. So we're back to get started. This was in there for 20 minutes. Now in this little bowl here, I have half a cup of olive oil and I have a little bit of butter. I forgot to take my butter out of the refrigerator so it can come to room temperature. But what I do is I mix the butter and the oil together and I mix it up together. Now, don't do like what I did. Take the butter out, let it sit out for a little bit and soften up before you get started, okay? So what I'm gonna do is just mix the butter because we're gonna be putting some butter on our roti over here and a little bit of oil. The butter and the oil mixed together makes it, to me, comes out good. You don't have to mix it. You can just put just oil or you can put just butter, okay? Okay, that's that. So the next thing we're gonna do is I have the roti here, Paratha Roti, and I'm gonna take some flour and I'm gonna sprinkle some flour, a little bit of flour over here so it doesn't stick to the board. And let's get it out of here and we're gonna put it here. I'm gonna put some on my hand, sprinkle some at the top over here, and I am just gonna go like that because I'm gonna cut this in 3 pieces. So I'm kind of even it out like that a little bit. So I'm gonna mark it. See? Probably can go up a little more. Three pieces. So in the meantime, what I'm gonna do is with the other 2 pieces, I'm gonna put them back in my bowl. You can put them in your bowl and cover them until you're ready. And then I'm going to work with 1 piece over here. And this is what I'm gonna work with. I have a rolling pin here. I'm gonna put a little more flour on the top. And I am going to, you just put it in a little ball like that. And then I'm going to take my rolling pin over here, put a little bit of flour on my pin so it doesn't stick to my pin. And I'm going to roll this out. Let me just move that bowl from there. And we're going to roll it out. Stretch it out, guys, and just roll it out. All the way to the edges. You're gonna roll it out. You don't need to have a perfect circle. So what I'm gonna do with my butter here, just soften it up a little bit. I'm gonna take some butter, put some butter here in the center. The reason that we're gonna do this is we're gonna make a nice flaky dough. Put a little more. You put a generous amount of butter on there. Then, over here I have my flour. I'm gonna take some of the flour and I'm gonna sprinkle the flour on top. Just sprinkle the flour on the top. Then I'm gonna take my knife and I'm going to come right here in the center and make a slit that come my way down to the end. And then I'm gonna turn the roti clockwise this way into a cone, and you're gonna keep just going around into a cone like that. And then when you get to the end, you can just pick it up like this take the end and stick it on the inside, and then stick that whole thing on the inside and stick it in like that, and you have a cone. And then you're gonna take the top and you can put it down like that. You can take the top and you're gonna push it down like that. You can take a little bit of butter on your finger if you want to. You don't have to. And you push it down like that. You set that aside and you go on to the next one. So I'm gonna put this one here, put a little bit of flour on it. Move this from here for a minute. And we're gonna continue the same thing that we just did with the first one. You know, you do this, you're not trying to get a perfect circle. A circle is nice, but you're not trying to do that. You just roll it out. Okay, and then from there I'm going to take a little more of my butter, put right in the center. Leave that for the last one. There's some more of butter. Then I'm going to take the flour with my other hand. I don't have the butter, and just sprinkle some flour all over. Just like that. This allows us to create, as I said, our layers. Then you're gonna cut it like that. And once again, get out of my way thing. We're gonna go around and we're gonna form a cone. And you're just gonna take it around like that. Just bring it around. You're just forming a cone. Just bring it around. Just keep bringing it around. When you get to the end, just pick it up and tuck that on the inside, right there in the center on the inside, and tuck everything else inside there. You hold it and just tuck it all the way down. Okay, and you have your perfect cone. And then you take that cone and you just stick the inside all the way down. Put a little more butter in there and stick it down, and that's it. We're gonna put this aside and we're gonna do the last one. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of flour on that, just over here, a little bit of flour, and I'm gonna take my pen and I'm going to roll it, roll it, roll it. Just going to again just cut before I cut it. I should have done this before I cut it. I'm getting ahead of myself. Put the butter all over it like that. And if you don't have enough butter, you just rake out whatever is left and get it all out of there. That's it. I think it's pretty much covered. And then we're going to take our flour and then we're going to sprinkle. Very good. And then with our cone, we're going to just go around. Go around, go around. And you're just going around. That's all you're doing, is just going around into a cone. And then you can take this last edge right here, stick it on the inside all the way down, down, down. Stick it in there. And then you're gonna take the top right here and stick it down inside. And that's it. So now guys, now I have 3 rotis here that I'm going to be making. So I'm going to put this down to rest again for another 20 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and show you the next step. Next step, we always have steps. Now 20 minutes is up, so let me show you what I'll do next. So now we're going to take one of the roti right here. I'm going to I take a wet paper towel and put it over them here, which will keep them moist from drying out. I still have a little bit of flour here, and I'm going to spread a little bit of flour over the mat so that it doesn't stick, and put a little bit on the top, and we're going to press this down, and I'm going to go ahead and roll it out. So I have my rolling pin. I should put a little bit of flour on my pin so it doesn't stick, and get everything from there and roll it out. Roll it, roll it, roll it. I have some oil here, and we're going to use that oil for the pan, because now we're going to put these in a pan. So I'm going to use that oil for the roti. Okay, guys? So you go ahead and roll out your, just roll it out like this. Get your rolling pin and roll it out. You can sing, you can hum, na 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 na, as you're rolling. And just keep rolling it out. Rolling it out, roll it, roll it, roll it. When you roll it out, you think you've rolled it out enough to the size that maybe you want, then, and you think this is good enough, you're going to pick it up and we're going to do one at a time, and just lay it over your hand like this, and let's go over to the stove. Let me show you how I'm going to do it. So I have a pan here, guys. So you see what I'm using? I'm not using a tower. This is a regular frying pan, and it's a pretty big one. So if you have a pretty big frying pan, it's good, because the roti, I'm making these like the size of my pan right here. You make them the size of your pan. And if you don't have a tower, this is what you do. If you have a nice big pan, because a small pan, you can make a small one too, but you would rather make a big one, right? The size of this. So if you have a nice big pan, that's what you'll do. Then once you put that in your pan like this, you're going to take a little oil, and you're going to put some oil on the top, and you're going to oil all over it like that, and then you're going to flip it, and you're going to do the same thing on the other side. And you see the bubbles are starting to bubble up. Okay, so you see your bubbles here, and then you flip it like that, and then when you flip it, you're going to oil the bottom as well. You cook it for a little bit, a couple, maybe like a few seconds, not for very long, and then you cook it a little bit for a few seconds on the other side. You move it around, and then you can flip it like that again. But then I'm going to flip it back over, and then and if you let it cook too long, it's going to get brown. Some people like it brown, when the edges start to turn brown. I'm not going to make it brown right now. I kind of like it if it's not too brown. But I'm going to go ahead and flip that again. and just let it stay there and cook for a couple seconds. So now this roti is all done here. And what you do is you beat the roti. Now, let me explain to you, because this pan here has this rim, it is not easy to just beat the roti like that. You need like an open pan to be able to do that, like the tower they call it. So I can't beat it like this, but how I would do it is how you would do it is I get people clapping in their hands. It is a little bit hot with the oil and so on. So I'm gonna put it on here, and now you have to clap it. So instead of clapping it with your plain hands like that, you can just go ahead and just clap it like this. And what it does is it separates the layers. And then I have a clean towel over here. I'm just gonna put it in here. I'm gonna wrap this up and put it aside. What happens is that it stays in here. It's gonna stay soft because it's gonna continue to steam inside of the towel. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside and I'm gonna go on to the next one. Put a little bit of flour there. And I'm gonna roll this out. Put this in here. Made this one a little bit too wide. Oh, it's not too wide, it's good. Move it around with your hands. And then we're gonna take a little bit of the oil and brush on the top. So you're gonna need at least a 1/4 cup of oil, because you need a lot of oil to brush on the top. This stops it from drying out. As you can see, those layers are starting to form. There we go. Cook it for a minute. And this is your roti, guys. Paratha Roti. See how simple it was for me to make this? Get yourself some curry chicken. I'm gonna let this cook on here for a few seconds before I flip it again. All the layers is popping up. And then we're gonna keep flipping it, because if you don't keep flipping it, it'll probably start to burn on the bottom. You don't want it to burn. So you're gonna flip it. My stove is set at medium. Don't put your stove too high, because if you do, it's gonna start to burn early. You want to at least cook a little bit first, you know. So make sure you don't put your stove too high. Leave your stove at about medium. And whenever you flip it, just put a little more oil on it. Okay, and that's about it. I'm gonna give this a couple more minutes and I'll take it out. Real quick. I think this is done, guys. And then I'm going to clap it. And I'm going to clap it in my paper towel instead of my hands like that. Just clap it like that. This just helped me to get a little bit of heat off my hand. And then I'm gonna wrap it in my towel and just leave it there. Let it steam. Okay. Now your roti is all done. Here it is. And this is what it looks like. As you can see, could you see good, Charles, here? The layers, see the layers that we were working on, the different layers. So this is what we have here. Guys, this is your roti, and these are the layers here. So now, let me fix myself a plate, a little bit of curry, and show you how this is eaten with your curry. So I will be right back. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take some of the roti that we just made. And here I have some curry that I made earlier. And this is how I will eat my roti with the curry that I made. And this is how you will eat it. Guys, if you want to learn how to make curry, this is chicken curry. I have a recipe up there that I made on my video before. You can check that out to see how to make curry, and then go ahead and make yourself some roti and sit down and enjoy. It is delicious. Let me have one more for you. You just take it up like that, and just enjoy. It's delicious. Guys, that is delicious. You should make some for yourself. It's very easy, very simple. Guys, I had fun, and I hope you guys had fun as well, and I hope you guys get to make some of these paratha rotis. If you do, just write me and let me know how you like it and how it came out for you. I hope I made this pretty simple that everyone can understand. Don't forget to share the videos to someone who is interested in making it. Give it a like, a thumbs up, press that bell notification. That way every time I put a video up, you will be notified that the video is there. Until next time, bye-bye.